Chris Gouser here with
Matt Howell.
On this episode of The First Round, Matt and I join Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans on a mission to rescue Nick in Red One, the family not-so-friendly holiday action film of November 2024. Next up, it's going to be the big release on physical media featuring your streaming and Viper video picks of the week. And then finally, Matt and I will close out the big show by sharing our 2024 holiday gift guide for the film lover in your life, or maybe it's just for you. Matt, let's get the show rolling. Let's hear a clip. Let's just, let's rip off the Band-Aid. Let's see what kind of carnage we're dealing with. And let's hear a clip from Red One.
Reach! Someone took Nick. We're gonna find him.
I'm bringing in Jack O'Malley. He's probably the best tracker in the world.
The guy's a legend.
What am I doing here?
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted from the North Pole complex.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
Garcia?
What the hell?
You can't trust this guy. He's on the list.
You don't mean...
Yes, that list. NL4.
Are you telling me this clown is a level 4 naughty lister?
A level 4 naughty lister?
Oh, is that funny to you?
No, it's not. Matt, what is Red One all about? Or I guess add on to that little trailer excerpt.
Sure. So Chris Evans plays a hacker who is just a not nice dude, is all about taking stuff for himself and getting what he views as his. He takes a job where he breaks into a seismographic institute and plants a bug so he can track the progress of some seismological activity. Once that happens, he reports it to the person who hired him, and that turns out that is the way to find the North Pole, aka Santa's domain, and Santa is kidnapped. Well, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Lucy Liu are not having any of that, so they enlist Chris Evans to help them find Santa to atone for his mistake.
That's great. I appreciate that well-informed and entertaining breakdown of Red One. Probably more entertaining than Red One, the film itself. Matt, what are your okay? Jake Kasdan, who directed this film, did not write it, so I guess maybe we can give him a bit of a pass. He directed a great little film from 1998 that I love, that a few people I think have seen, called Zero Effect. Okay. If you get a chance to check it out, you should really do this. So, he also directed, I think, for my things that I believe, one of the best comedies of the early aughts there, and Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Wow.
One of those films that is just endlessly funny. It gets funnier every time you watch it. And he did Bad Teacher, which was okay. Sex Tape I didn't see. I have not seen any of the Jumanji films, either of them. I saw the OG back in the day, but not these reboot ones.
Yeah, the first Jumanji is actually pretty entertaining. The second one is okay. It's not as good, but I was surprised at how entertaining the first one was.
All right. Well, okay. Well, here we are now with Red One, that I would describe charitably as inert. What are your thoughts on Red One? Is it the holiday action comedy that we've been waiting for our entire lives?
Well, I don't know if we've been waiting for a holiday action comedy, but sure. I mean, a nerd is a kind of a good word. The action isn't particularly compelling. All the performances are stiff and humorless, which is a real problem when it's supposed to be a comedy as well. The jokes fall pretty flat. There's no sense of wonder to it at all.
No. And
The Rock is kind of just doing what The Rock does and what he does in every single film, and his shtick is worn pretty old and thin for me. And Chris Evans's charms, such as they are, can't really elevate this material or really show up anywhere in the actual film itself. There are maybe a couple of relatively amusing sequences. I think the slap fight is kind of funny at times, but other than that,
you think so?
Not much to it.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like Ryan that Evans is kind of like, well, if we can't get Ryan Reynolds, let's get Chris Evans, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I guess I was going to say in disrespect to Evans, but I guess that is disrespectful. It feels very much to me like a straight to streaming film. Mm-hmm. Like this should have just shown up on Netflix. Now, of course, I haven't seen. Didn't he do like an action film with was the Gray Man or the Gray something with Ryan Gosling, Evans?
Okay,
I never even saw that, but I think that may have been one of the Russo brother joints too. I don't know. But I'm looking at my boy Chris's Ovra post kind of MCU, and independent of Knives Out. Mm-hmm. Things don't look good. Things do not look good. And I don't know what. I mean, I don't think I'm going to count Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't think that's really a Chris Evans joint per se, right? So It's just dull and lifeless and boring. There isn't any joy in this film whatsoever. I feel like the only enjoyment I got out of this movie was like the last 5 minutes when Santa's dropping off all the toys once we've rescued Santa. Spoiler. And he's now bringing all the kids across the world. For a fleeting moment of like, oh, that's nice. I'm actually enjoying this film now. And I just don't know how you make a film kind of focused on Santa, or at least the rescue of, and it's just totally devoid of any joy, of any warmth, of any vibrancy. Even the color palette of this thing is kind of bland and uninspired. I don't like the joke. I'm tired of the joke, and that's not so much I don't like it, of having like a jacked Santa. Fine, you know, I just... And it made me think, where are we cinematically with our mismatched buddy films, right? So I don't know if what the apex would be, maybe Midnight Run, but the two of these guys, Dwayne and Chris, are so... Everything just feels so fake and so forced, and I think it might be partly due to just a really half-baked script. And I was like asking myself, who is this movie even for? I don't think it's for kids, because it's a little too violent for that, or I don't even know if you want to use the word mature, but there isn't a lot here. I think it would appeal to kids, independent of, oh, hey, it's The Rock and Captain America. But again, the palette of the film is so bland. There's no brightness to any of this film. And I was watching, like, I don't even know if they were in any of these scenes really together. It feels like they shot like the bulk of this movie like at two different times. At Evans's ones, and then they did Dwayne Johnson shots, and they just kind of put them together, you know? And I read something online too that some critic was like, it feels like this is the first AI generated script. And if you told me that, I would not be surprised at all. And it does feel like that. It clearly does.
Right.
And I just don't know what I can't think of a really good mismatched pair of guys. The only thing I come up with is the Nice Guys, right? I think that one is great. But independent of that, which of course is directed by one of Shane Black, one of the guys of the 80s and 90s, for directors for this kind of action comedy thing. But yeah, no, it's a mess and it's boring. The CGI is dodgy. I don't know what accent Chris Evans is doing. I don't know, Matt. I don't know what... It just feels like content to me. That's all this feels like. I'm done complaining.
Are you? I don't think you are. I think when you were talking about this movie being lifeless and humorless, I felt like we were talking about the show so far. I think both of us are a little tired. We didn't like this film. I've had a low-grade headache all day long since I woke up
buddy.
This morning. Let's stop talking about it. Who gives a shit about this movie? It's bad. It's not good. Like, who gives a shit? Just stop. You heard our piece. We don't recommend it. You can find much better things to watch with your holiday time. And, that's it. I'm going to give Red 1 a D. I don't think it is bad enough to get into the F territory, but it's not good.
I'm with you right there. I give it the old D. I don't know if it's just because the fun last 5 minutes. I don't know. God, the Lucy Liu stuff when she's the government person. Like, it's just so much of the film is just so frustrating. And I like Kurtin Shipka. I think she's great. I loved her in Long Legs. Because I'm like, who is that her? Like, I didn't even see that was her. And then you see kind of this stuff. It's just... Yeah, D. I think that's good. Oh, the Nick Kroll part. Oh, God. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Don't watch Red One, folks. Just don't do it.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. All right. Let's talk about what's coming. What? Shoes, did you see it? Did you sit through this thing? Feedback at thefirstrun.com. Maybe, where am I wrong? I'd love to know. You know what? No, let's just all move on. Let's treat it like COVID and just never talk about it again.
Fair.
And let's talk what's coming up in physical media this upcoming Tuesday, November 26th. Is this going to be good? Hopefully, maybe.
What have I done now?
Do you know why Robert wasn't here tonight?
Sure, because he's smart.
I'm not fooling, darling. He's disappeared.
That's swell. Now we can just get Aunt Catherine to disappear.
Here.
Oh, Nicholas, I'm sorry to take you away from the boys.
Oh, that's quite all right. Well, how long has Robert been gone?
3 days. 3 days without a word.
Have you notified the police?
Certainly not. And we're not going to.
Oh, no. Robert may have been kidnapped. He may be lying dead somewhere. But we mustn't do anything about it. Our precious name might get into the papers.
Oh, don't pay any attention to her. She's exaggerating the whole affair. However, to please her, I thought you might investigate the matter quietly. With your experience as a...
Flatfoot.
I didn't mean to be as blunt as that.
Well, that's the difference. It's all in family.
Matt, the Thin Man collection is being released on Blu-ray from Warner Archive. The classic noir comedy series with Nick and Nora. I've never seen these films. I've always heard they're fantastic. So I'm really excited about this. I'm going to sit on it for a bit. I'm not going to jump and buy it right away, but I will get it because I've always wanted to see these movies. Includes The Thin Man, After the Thin Man, Another Thin Man, Shadow of the Thin Man, Song of the Thin Man, and The Thin Man Goes Home. Each film meticulously remastered and restored for Blu-ray from 4K scans or the best surviving presentation elements. Now, I see that. Does that mean I should wait for 4K? I don't think so. Warner Archive has just finally announced their very first 4K disc. I think it's coming out in January. I'd have to look. But the classic film, The Searchers, will be coming out in 4K in 2025 early. And I'm very excited about that. I only have that on DVD, and I love that film. If you haven't seen The Searchers, fantastic Western. So I'm eager to see what Warner Archive comes up with that 4K. All right, Matt, let's count them down, shall we?
Number 5.
Shawscope Volume 3 from Arrow Films. They continue their release of the classic Shaw scope, the Shaw production company martial arts films. This set has a one-armed swordsman, Return of the One-Armed Swordsman, The New One-Armed Swordsman, Lady Hermit, Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan, The 14 Amazons, The Magic Blade, Clans of Intrigue, Jade Tiger, The Sentimental Swordsman, The Avenging Eagle, Killer Constable, Buddha's Palm, Bastard Swordsman, and it also includes a CD of, I believe, some soundtrack bits. And I have the first two sets. I've been very careful, or what's the word I'm looking for? Just very specific, very, very planful or mindful about it. I wait because I've gotten each of them for like $50.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they usually run after about a year, maybe 9 months. You'll start seeing them go on sale, so you don't have to spend like the $150 or the $135 or whatever it is they're retailing for at the moment. So, but yeah, Shawscope 3 is coming out next.
4.
Magnolia is putting out Jeremy Saulnier's first film, Murder Party, which I've seen. I'll be picking this one up. I really enjoyed that film. New audio commentary from film critic Simon Abrams. New 2024 transfers of the and upres of the original tape materials approved by Saulnier. Audio commentary by him, as well as actors Chris Sharp and Macon Blair. Outtakes and bloopers and more. Next.
I'm giving you to the count of 3 to get out of here. Then I'm coming across the kitchen shooting you.
Mike Flanagan's Hush is being released on physical media from Shout Factory. You can get it in 4K or a Blu-ray. It includes a new restoration approved by Flanagan and supervisors. So new audio commentary. And there's the Shush cut, which is a black and white version of the film. And also there is a Blu-ray 4K disc featuring a whole bunch of new interviews as well. We did Shush years ago, I think, for the show, and I think we both really enjoyed it. So if you haven't seen it, you should definitely at least check it out.
I have 2 words: perfect love and perfect trust.
Criterion is putting out a 4K and or Blu-ray of the classic Paper Moon. Brand new 4K restoration on that one. Audio commentary by the director, Peter Bogdanovich. Includes a new introduction to the film by him, which I'm assuming must... Oh, no, it's not new, Matt. It's just, I was going to say, because he passed away like a year ago. New video essay about him, a 3-part making of documentary, and more. And then your number one.
There can be only one.
Del Toro's The Shape of Water is being released by Criterion as well in a 4K release. It was previously available on Blu-ray. And it is supervised as transferred by Guillermo del Toro. A new conversation between del Toro and filmmaker David Lowery. A documentary on the making of the film, and more. I'm still waiting for their Nightmare Alley. I really liked Nightmare Alley, and he said there's a black and white cut of the film, which I'd really love to see. And I haven't bought the 4K, even though it's gotten pretty cheap a couple times, because I'm thinking a Criterion release is inevitable. So I am holding out hope for that Nightmare Alley at some point. Also coming up, Matt, you ever seen any of the Hatchet films?
I haven't. I've heard that they were okay, but I never got around to seeing any of them.
Yeah, they're pretty entertaining. They're basically just kind of throwback 80s gore fests. You can see there's a box set coming out of them, I should say a steel book set, and has all the unrated versions of the films on Blu-ray. Also in 4K, Bones and All, a film that I think you and I both enjoyed. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and then Friedkin's thriller Bug is being released. Also, Kino Lorber is putting out Below, which is a great little World War II set science fiction film about a sub that, things go horribly wrong after a Nazi death charge impacts the sub. I really enjoyed Below. If you have a chance, you should check that out. Your Viper Video Pick of the Week. Remember, folks, head on to ViperVideoTampa.com for all your home video needs. 2020 Texas Gladiators. A brand new 4K restoration of the original camera negative, Matt. In a post-apocalyptic Texas, a band of warriors fight against a fascist regime that is trying to take control of all the surviving population. It is by Italio sleaze maestro Joe D'Amato, and it comes with, basically, Matt, it says here, it's insane and very entertaining saga of graphic violence, rampant nudity, unholy mutants, big explosions, fascist rhetoric, motorcycle mayhem, saloon brawls, Indian attacks, and plenty of lawless Lone Star depravity. Featuring, written by, I should say, George Eastman, assistant directed by Michel Sauvé, and more. So you can pick up 2020 Texas Gladiators next week. Matt, what should we be streaming?
Well, you know what? Texas Gladiators, you had me at rampant nudity, so you didn't even have to go any further than that. So I was talking to Chris earlier. It came in today. I got 4K of Enter the Dragon, and I thought, you know what? I really like Enter the Dragon. I should recommend that. It's not streaming anywhere, so I will recommend that you check out Fists of Fury, also known as The Big Boss, available on Canopy and Hoopla, so your library probably has one of those for free. And while normally I wouldn't recommend, in most instances, of watching the dub of a movie, those Hong Kong action films, I feel like you have to watch the dub. Watch it the first go round, I guess, not dubbed, but you have to watch the dub for the just insane, translations that they put into these things. Will
do. Yeah, I picked up a couple things too, Matt. I got the Ring 4K that just came out. I was able to get it used at Viper Video.
Nice.
So $15, and it still had the digital copy, which I was very excited about.
Cool.
And then my Terminator 4K came out today. From what I understand, Cameron did do some AI enhancing on some of the scenes. Some of it looks okay, others do not. But it does also include the original theatrical audio, which has basically been missing from every home video release, I think, since the original VHS or DVD. So maybe I'll try and pop this in this weekend and take a look at it and see how it looks. So there you go. All right, Matt, let's close out the big show and do our gift guide for, well, let's all be honest, it's for you.
A couple of days ago, I was in Women's Big and Tall, and I heard these, these noises, and I heard a woman screaming, "Yeah, oh yeah," and I heard his voice saying, "That's right, you ain't going to SHIT right for a month." But don't get me wrong, I'm was against the Clinton impeachment. What a man does with his own penis, Oval Office, Women's Big and Tall, it's not for the American people to say.
Yeah, right.
But when you're dealing with children.
Oh, Matt, the children. That, of course, is a clip from Bad Santa, a holiday tradition for me every year. So, yeah, good times. I forgot the waitress was in Red 1, too. Forgot all about that. All right, Matt, I'll give you the ultimate number one, I guess. Let's go start everything off here. Where am I? Number 5. This is for somebody who is a budding film lover, who's just getting into it, and you have $400 lying around, to, just to blow. Or like maybe if, I don't know if the sale's still on, maybe you can jump on it right now. I don't know if it's still available from Barnes & Noble, their 50% off sale. CC40, Matt. It's the 40th anniversary of the Criterion Collection. So they put together a massive, massive box set. And just some of the highlights. It's 8.5, All That Jazz, Bicycle Thieves, Repo Man, Jules and Jim, Weekend, On the Waterfront, Do the Right Thing. You also have some new stuff, Love and Basketball, Weekend, Yee Yee, U2 Mama Tambien, In the Mood for Love, and more. It also features some unique extras, I think, to the set, which is like exclusive videos from the Criterion Closet and more. But it's just a massive box set from Criterion. The problem is, like, if you've been collecting Criterion films, you're going to have like half of these films at the very least, right? Mm-hmm. So this is really more of, I think, an introductory thing for somebody who's starting into classic and potentially some foreign film as well. Just that price tag's a bit steep, but I'll tell you, the set looks gorgeous. So I don't know if you maybe it's a purchase for the family, right? If you have some kids getting in the movies or whatever the case may be. But that's going to be my number 5. And I will say, Matt, you'll notice no Santa this year. He unfortunately could not make an appearance. There's too much going down at the North Pole to step in this year. So I do apologize for that in advance. I know everybody looks forward to that, especially Matt, every year.
Well, his security team won't let him go after that kidnapping attempt from
That's very true. So what do you got?
All right, so guess what? I'm going to recommend all books this year, except for one thing. That's not going to be books. Because, you know what? People aren't reading enough. Okay. You included, Chris. Yeah, so my first one recommend is Letters from Hollywood Inside the Private World of Classic American Movie Making by Harry N. Abrams. It is the letters of famous actors and actresses and directors like Alfred Hitchcock, Katharine Hepburn, Marlon Brando, and it pulls back the curtain on the world of filmmaking, making it the perfect gift for the old Hollywood aficionado. Available for $28 right now at Amazon.com.
Cool. I'm going to go with one of my favorite t-shirts that I love so much. And I love it so much that I don't wear it because I'm always afraid I'm going to ruin it. And it's my VHS stack of John Carpenter films. It's a t-shirt and it has all Carpenter films like stacked out on top of each other. I bought it at Matt when we were into the archive, I think like 5 years ago. It's been a long time. And I've looked for it online kind of since, and I have not been able to find it really. But there are other versions of it that you can buy with other directors. So you can get a t-shirt if you want, or you can get a poster. If you go onto like TeePublic or Etsy, it's going to run you about $20-$30. But just type in like t-shirt, like VHS, and your favorite director, and then you'll be able to see it. I just love the design of it, of just the stacked VHS tapes, as long as they have the original kind of like spine art or the lettering, from the posters. I also would love to see something like that for like CDs and like vinyl too. That probably is out there. I just haven't spent the time to look at it yet. But the VHS stack art is something I really enjoy. So that's my 4.
Sounds pretty cool. That's very cool. I should get down to the archive. I'm off next week. I should go down there.
Oh, nice.
All right. So my number 4 then is a book called The Colors of Film, The Story of Cinema in 50 Palettes. It's a coffee table book that analyzes 50 films and how they've used color, from Wes Anderson's The Grand Budapest Hotel to the blue hues of Barry Jenkins' Moonlight. It's a different look at kind of not just the film itself, but obviously the thought that goes into the color palette and how the film is shot. So it's $22 on Amazon right now.
Good for you. That's a good one. I know you like your books, nerd. My number 3 then is going to be Criterion Channel subscription. I've been really happy with the channel this year. It's going to run you about $100 for the year. And I will confess too, if you have Max, a lot of the classic stuff is also on the TCM hub on Max, but the curation they've been doing on the Criterion Channel this past year has been fantastic, particularly for like October for Halloween. They had some incredible stuff on there. I love too, they had a marathon this year of like films that deserve like a second chance, like movies that were critically panned or really bombed, but they felt there was some artistic merit to. Right, they did kind of things like that all year. They did a really good job curating things, so I wanted to give the Criterion Channel a little love. So there you go.
Yeah, Criterion Channel is a good one. That is a good one. All right, so my number 3.
Oh, I should say, I interrupt you too. They added a streaming portion, so you can pop it on. You open up the app, and there's always like it's running 24 hours a day, so you can kind of cycle through. You can go pick a movie, or just click on the live stream, and then whatever's playing is playing, which I think is a neat little thing.
Nice.
Sorry about that. Okay.
No problem. All right, so then my number 3. Pause a beat for Chris to come up with something else. No, okay. Then the next one is the next film is
son of a bitch.
There you go. It's called The Film That Changed My Life: 30 Directors on Their Epiphanies in the Dark, and essentially it's 30 directors share their thoughts and wisdom on the movies that have impacted and inspired them in a coffee table book. Obviously, if you have somebody who's getting really into film, or they just want to learn more about the artistic aspect of filmmaking and all that kind of stuff, there are 30 essays by acclaimed directors.
I looked at that book myself. I thought it looked pretty cool, so that's nice. My number 2, I think I may have mentioned it last year, and probably one of my favorite purchases of last year, and I'm really happy I did it. But now there's another place to buy them. That is a region-free Blu-ray player. I bought mine from 220 Electronics. They're kind of like, they've been known as kind of the safest bet for buying these players. But Orbit DVD out of Asheville now has just recently started to sell region-free players as well. And I know they got hit pretty badly after the floods. I don't think the store itself was damaged, but just the surrounding devastation has really kind of impacted them. So I wanted to give Orbit DVD some love, and they have a lot of great little import stuff right now. Like, I'm still waiting for my Nightmare on Elm Street Steelbook, and I think the last time I checked, they still had the UK Nightmare on Elm Street set, which includes the Steelbook and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. I love Orbit, but like I said, they started selling region-free players, so you may want to give them a shot and look at that, because there's so much great stuff, particularly right now. Second Sight for me has been the boutique label of the year. Again, I'm still waiting to get it, but that Blair Witch set looks fantastic, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And they have put out so much great, high-quality stuff. My new Hitcher box set is gorgeous. So, now granted, that's a 4K, so you don't need the region-free player, but that Blair Witch set, Matt, is a Region B locked set. So you'd have to kind of pick one up. I don't know, Matt. Maybe if I liked you enough and I had like $200 lying around, maybe I would buy you one for Christmas. But
no, it's a thought that counts. Even the fact that you would consider it, I appreciate it, Chris.
You're welcome.
Thanks. All right, so I know I've mentioned this before. I think Chris has mentioned a few of his before, but so I feel like this is not a cheat. But an item that's really popular in my house is, if you're like me or like us, when it comes time to watch something, the question is, well, what do you want to watch? And you spend minutes that can stretch into tens of minutes, then maybe almost into an hour of just flipping through your various sources of streaming entertainment, right? And then you just never pick anything out and you just put something else on the background. So to solve that problem, there is a thing called What to Watch Streaming Decider Dice. It is a 3 wooden die that you roll, and it tells you whether you're going to pick a movie or a TV show, and then it tells you what the genre should be, and then it tells you at which number on the row that you're on. So the second film of the drama row, right? And it is, believe it or not, a lot of fun. It kind of keeps things interesting if you just really can't decide what to watch, and you may find something, a hidden gem that you've never seen before, which we have done here on at the Howell household.
Nice. I know you gave it to me as a gift last Christmas, so I still have them. So yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It's helped me out, I think, a couple times now when I was really on the fence. Because what I used to do is I'd run out of time. I'd be so taken up by like, well, what do I watch? What do I watch? And I go through everything, and now it's like 45 minutes later. I'm like, oh, I can't stay up for another 2 hours now. I got to go to bed. So I know that is a great idea, Matt. And so my number one then is going to be for you to support your local art house theater. Go out, go see a movie there. Maybe they offer some type of membership or rewards program. There's one down here in St. Pete called Greenlight that has started a membership program, $75 a year. You get a discount on tickets, a discount on concessions. You get one free ticket a year, 2 free small popcorns a year, a free t-shirt, and then access to exclusive events. So enroll in that. Support your local theater, go down there, see some movies. If they have what kind of rewards membership programs, go ahead and join. More and more people are pulling what we like to call a howl and preferring to stay home and not actually go to the theater. It's important to support your local art house. So that's my number one. Go. Just go.
Awesome. All right, so my number one then is a bit of a nostalgia gift. It's something that kind of will kick in your maybe oft neglected senses, but it is one that can just bring back a flood of memories and bring back a sense of place and time, right? And I'm talking about scent. So Dio Candle Company has a bunch of interesting scents, and they have one called Video Store that smells like popcorn, carpet, and VHS tapes. I desperately want it to see how much it actually smells like a Blockbuster, because the labels even just says Video Store, but it looks like the old Blockbuster logo. Not cheap. It's $25 for a 4-ounce candle, but if it smells anything like a Blockbuster, I know it's going to transport me to a fun time back in the 90s where that was a Friday night on your elementary school and middle school going out to pick out a new tape.
I'm gonna get old man now. There are certain things that the younger generations just don't appreciate or will never be able to experience. That's one of them, right? Having almost every movie or everything you can think of basically at your fingertips. Just look it up online, rent it online, whatever. The experience of going to the video store on like a Friday night or a Saturday to rent something, it's I don't know. Now, granted, Blockbuster sucked. All right. When things first started, we had like mom and pop video stores. We used to go to this place called Carl's Video down in where I grew up in Meriden, Connecticut. And then Tommy K Video opened up, which I think is so funny. After the video thing kind of imploded, they turned everything into like suntan parlors or whatever, tanning. So yeah, but still, it's man, I feel bad that there's a lot of things that people just won't really experience anymore.
There's plenty of things that our parents experienced that we didn't, that they felt bad that we never got the chance to, and there's going to be things our kids experience now that when the AI overlords take over, that our grandchildren are not going to be able to experience. So I guess it's just the way things are. But you got a candle to bring you back to that place.
And maybe we'll be able to start experiencing like measles and polio again soon too. So
wouldn't that be
lots
awesome?
to look forward to.
Yeah, I know. I cannot wait for the iron lung to make a comeback.
So many great things. So yeah, that's it. I don't have any honorable mentions, Matt. That's my list. All right, cool. Well, do you have any suggestions? Because I'm kind of stuck. I don't know what else to do. I actually I feel like don't let anybody hear this, Matt. But I've been feeling like I've hit almost like a saturation point in regards to like physical media.
Oh my God, what? Who are you?
There are newer films coming out, sure, but like I have a lot of the classic films that I want on physical media. And I know Matt always is convinced like I'm going to get an 8K player and an 8K disc like in 5 years. It's not going to happen. I'm 4K is my endpoint. And I was thinking about it last week. I'm thinking about what's coming up on the horizon, and like, oh, do I want to get to that? Do I want to get that? I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm good. I don't know if I'm just maturing
Right.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm facing down, cold, steely death. And I have so much stuff that I own that I've never watched. So I'd like maybe just to get on that.
Yeah, I think there comes a point where the whole idea of acquiring more things is kind of not as exciting as it used to be. And part of it, the only things I really like to buy anymore, as far as like movies go, is ones that I know I love, love, and I am nervous I'm not going to be able to watch it if I want to, right? So like Enter the Dragon is a perfect example. It's not on any streaming services. You can rent it if you want to, but for that, I'd rather just have the physical copy that I just bought myself. So I think that's a lot of it. And the other piece of it is, like you said, there's a lot that you haven't watched of what you've bought. And then, there's a voice in your head that said, maybe you just should just slow down and enjoy. Take a slow down, stop and smell the roses, or watch the video in this case, maybe.
Yeah, because I think part of it was I was waiting for Black Friday. Of course, Black Friday sales, they think they were bad last year. I think they're going to crater this year because Target's basically out of it. They have an online presence, but I think all they're really doing is buy two, get one, get a third free, or 50% off or something like that. Maybe it'll basically probably be between Walmart and Amazon, and I don't anticipate a lot. But I was thinking of I'm still waiting to get, Aquaman The Lost Kingdom. I'm waiting for that 4K to get down to like $12, $13. And that's what it is on Groove right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm never going to watch that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have Blue Beetle. Like, I in my head, I was like, I'm going to revisit all of the DC films at some point and want to watch them all, right? No, I'm not. I'm not. It's not going to happen.
Right. And it's not like those ones that underperformed are going to be that hard to find on streaming somewhere.
Yeah, I was even thinking I have like Shazam and Birds of Prey, and I'm thinking I may even get rid of those.
Right.
I'm not going to watch Shazam again.
Right.
It's a sad day for me. What's coming up next week on the big show, man?
Gladiator 2?
Cheer me up.
Gladiator 2. That's going to be pretty fun. Denzel, Pedro Pascal.
Oh, that's right. I'm feeling a little bit better about things now. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy. That's wonderful. That'll be good. All right, Gladiator 2. You know what? I don't have any Dolby screenings around me.
Really?
They're all dedicated to Wicked.
Oh, freaking Wicked.
I have some IMAX screenings. Almost all of the IMAX screenings around me don't start until like 4. The Wicked gets even the IMAX matinees. There's one theater that is about 20, 30 minutes away from me that's going to have an IMAX screening like at 1 that I can get to over the weekend. So I'm going to that one. But I'm very disappointed not to be able to go see Gladiator 2 in Dolby. How confident are you that Gladiator 2 is going to be good?
I'm pretty confident it'll be entertaining. I'm curious. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to bomb. I mean, if it's going up against Wicked, if Wicked proves to be as big as, all the marketing pushes in saying it's going to be, and the fact that Gladiator came out so long ago, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to do that great. Did
you see, too, that Wicked, was it the Barbie toy or something like that had the link to wicked.com?
No, I didn't see that.
Not the movie site. That is a very different site. Very, very different site.
Interesting.
That was a boo-boo. So, and what else? I was going to say something else to you about it. Oh, did you know it's a part 1, and it's like 2.5 hours long?
I did know it's a part 1, but I did know also that they have not advertised that widely, that it is a part 1.
Like, how is it part 1, and from what I understand, it's longer than the actual play itself, the musical?
Yeah, that's weird. I guess they must be just pulling in more from the actual original novel.
Oh, that's right. It was a book in first.
Right. Well, which makes me feel bad for the person who wrote it, because the musical has completely overshadowed the novel.
I forgot all about that. Find us on Facebook, Twitter. Nope. We're off of Twitter.
Oh, you closed it, huh? I closed mine a week or two ago, so I obviously didn't notice that the first one
Thursday.
left.
Last Thursday, I closed up the Twitter accounts. I'm on Blue Sky.
Okay.
You can find me and the First Run site, main social media there on Blue Sky, which I'm rather enjoying.
Okay.
It's nice not having so many Nazis and bots and porn accounts to have to wade through. And now all the people that I used to follow on Twitter, I didn't realize how many of them I had kind of been just filtered out of my feed. So it's nice to see all these people again.
Yeah.
So yeah, where are we? So where was Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube? Do a search for The First Run. Scroll. Eventually you'll find us. Head over to thefirstrun.com And you'll find archives of all the old shows and the report card and other fun stuff. And also, too, there was a point, Matt, when I was writing articles for the website, and they're hidden. You can't find them on the site. But if you Google it, you can still get to them. Like, if you were to Google, like, first run Star Trek Star Wars, you'll see the article I wrote about that, like, I think 8 years ago. I don't know. So there's a lot. If you start doing stuff like that, you can actually find the old sites. I found that out because I was looking at the stats on the website, and I got something I had like a page view, and I'm like, that thing's been hidden for like 6 years. How the hell did they see that? So anyway, yeah, is that it? Am I done? I think that's done. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and take an extended break. We love you all very much. Really, please, everybody, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you all next week. Have a good Thanksgiving, because this next episode will drop after that.
Garbage Day!